Oh my goodness. That music, it's not the end, is it? The first season? Mel?
No!
It's not?
It is, and it's very painful, but I'm excited and nervous. But I am more nervous than I am excited.
And we have somebody very special joining us tonight.
I know, I'm so excited.
Who's with us?
Juliet Landau.
Nice.
Hello.
Welcome to the mayhem.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
We apologize in advance.
Yes. Sorry for our behavior.
I was like, did she listen to the show before she invited us?
Low expectations, Juliet. Low expectations.
Oh, Jonathan, don't sell us short. Right?
Who are you calling
I have to sell you short. You're a dwarf.
Exactly. The dwarf had to make a short joke, so
And Juliet, I wish, over Zoom, I wish that we could all hear the audio that's played in the podcast live, but it just says we haven't figured out a great way to have that project. So
no worries.
You just have to be with us. There's an awesome audio atmosphere. And tonight, I know that Juliet has a killer new series. Well, it's not new. It's been around for a little bit. Tell us a little bit about that, because it kind of fits in with what these guys have been up to.
Absolutely. Actually, we've got two projects. I've got a feature film that's my directorial debut, and I'm starring in the movie. And we've got amazing cast of extended cameos: Gary Oldman, Ron Perlman, Robert Patrick, Lance Henriksen, my old boss Joss Whedon, and yeah, it's really cool.
It sounds awesome.
Thank you. And best-selling author Anne Rice appearing for the first time ever in a movie.
Whoa. Wow.
That's really cool. I just finished that before lockdown, and so have some exciting stuff going on with that I can't talk about yet. And then the series that actually we got to film with Julia, Spencer's wife as well, my pal from Buffy and Angel. And all of the people that worked with us on the film came back again, plus Tim Burton and Willem Dafoe, and it's really awesome. That one is really fun. It's a little bit like, I don't know if you guys have seen Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Yeah.
So this is vampires in coffins getting blood.
Nice. I like it.
It's the cast of the
Juliet, let me ask you, there's one person on the screen, because people are listening, but we also do record this on Zoom. There's one person on the screen that has a lot to do with vampires. Can you guess which one it is?
Oh, let's see.
And we know you've listened to a lot of the podcast, but this is pretty intimate stuff.
I don't know. I think I'm going to fail this question.
It's usually the most innocent looking one.
Okay, then I would have to go with the middle culprit. Is it Viv?
Guilty. No, she just looks like she belongs on Buffy.
Oh, no.
It's Tom.
Most innocent.
Hold on, I doubt that she's the most innocent of the good.
But she looks very innocent.
know about.
Hey, when it comes to acting, it's all about casting.
There you go. Well, Juliet, congratulations on your premiere of directing a film. That is freaking amazing.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And to have that cast, amazing.
Yeah. Sounds like an awesome cast.
Killer.
Amazing.
And all of the fans of Loaded Dice Rollers promise to listen to The Undead.
Oh, absolutely. More than once.
Yeah, because that happens. And hey, you guys, tonight we actually have a game to play. Should we get in?
Oh yeah, that's right. We do that.
I know, this has been fun.
We have a destiny.
We're just gonna jump into it. All right.
We have a destiny to arrive at.
There's a destiny to arrive at. Should we play? And we also have a cold open to catch us up from what happened last episode. Should we hear that?
Sure.
What a long, strange trip it's been. Let's roll it.
And in go the teeth.
On the last episode of the Loaded Dice Rollers podcast.
What the hell?
It's 2.7 million gold pieces for that tankard.
The crew went shopping in the city of Brass.
A previously unknown relic known as Pharasma's tear.
Sultana will find it for us.
I passed by 3 shops with it.
Right.
You're like, that shop has them.
Jesus.
That shop has them.
What else can I get for all of you?
I would like to buy a belt of regeneration.
I believe there's one right there. And
Right. Fantastic. Oh, I love it.
You guys are easy.
The Thurman shopping spree.
Take me to a temple where I can speak to Saren Ray directly.
Oh, good. The fire god, the god of fire.
Yes.
Led him to his god's largest temple.
You're welcome to enter the temple.
It suggested that you both leave something generous.
He pulls out a scroll of freedom of movement,
okay.
and he puts the scroll down on the altar.
Saren Ray, you and I have not always been on the same page. I wish that I had in my hand the item Whisper of the First Lie.
It appears.
Oh, it did appear.
But came with somebody else.
Huh?
With your wish, a Baylor demon shows up holding your item.
Holy shit.
And he's got a long whip, and everybody needs to roll initiative. The whole church is going to be brought down for this.
32.
All right, hits.
And it sort of rumbles after Mel hits it. And you see it start to bleed like fire, and it explodes.
Now that the temple is wiped from existence,
He looks up at the sky.
You, Saren Ray.
the group decided to go lich hunting.
He says,
What took you so long?
Well, at that point, I'm not going to bother answering.
Not sure how to answer that
Let's just
question.
go roll initiative.
The fight wasn't easy.
Nephew.
You're not supposed to be here, relative. You made the wrong choice coming here. I know your heart was in the right place, but you weren't supposed to do this.
70 negative damage.
You about to die.
All right, that's massive damage, Kurt. You got to roll a DC4 to save.
Oh no.
You gotta look over here, then you gotta look over here, and if you keep looking around, you might find something.
Great job, guys.
But in the end,
I fumbled.
a fumble.
My streak.
Wow, that's bad. Oh my god. Hit friend critical hit.
That's a head cut off.
Big liability, it says.
Oh,
and critical hits.
She just cut one of your heads off. All horrible confirmed critical hits cut heads off. Whack.
Who's next
There goes
to
the
her?
head.
Who's
I
next to
think
her?
I am.
Jenny? Is there anyone
The
else?
fellowship was triumphant.
I'm just coming off of previously chopping off a head of another person.
Is he dead?
You have
Is he dead?
killed
All right.
the Lich
Nicely done, team.
general.
Then Thurman was having problems.
I think Tom just had a stroke.
Thurman, what are you doing?
I would have killed you all.
And looking at his hand that has become this evil hand of darkness, he cuts his hand off.
And Walrus started to cast another miracle.
I'm gonna ask Lady Pharasma to intervene. I haven't used my miracles today. I'm gonna use one.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
You laid it on the ground.
God,
You asked
oh, you baited me. I walked right into your.
Lady Pharasma to intervene.
And that is where this episode begins.
Oh, what an idiot I am! What if I never said miracle? You would have been fucked. You would have been right.
It's using like it's piss water.
Good thing I'm an idiot. So good thing I just walked right into that.
Welcome special guest star, Juliet Landau.
Wow. What a great recap, you guys. Oh man, what happened?
I feel like every time after that, I have to like stretch a little bit to kind of like get myself ready for that to happen.
The cold open's a little misleading, Mel. You actually didn't kill your friend because you had a reroll.
Spoiler.
You know, it was very terrifying to roll a 1 after being able to roll a 20 immediately after that and either chop off the head of Eugenie or Uncle Walrus.
So
And
you had to
then-
choose one of your friends.
I did, and then I thankfully remembered that I had a free reroll.
Oh, wait, did you make a choice before you did the reroll? Just curious.
No, I was waiting until last second to roll that.
Juliet, would you have just taken both their heads off?
Maybe both, yeah.
Yeah, that's how we would do it.
You know,
Just to be safe.
Brutal. Double header.
Yeah, double header.
We're close enough to the end of the season.
Yeah, Will, you lost
How did I
that.
beat Will to that one? How did I beat Will to that one?
You did beat Will. I can't. He's not paying attention. Nice. So yeah, you've traveled to 4 of the elemental planes as promised to the last Nick's sister, and you have defeated the liches in all of the elemental planes. All of them, all 4. quite a feat with Tom's ability to planular travel and arrive at a specific destination with the astrolabe.
Thank goodness.
It has been phenomenal. The wish rings and the wizard and the cleric, you cast miracle and wish, the highest level spells, and they come with some consequences, as we just found out. We're about to face an interesting journey in RPG history like never seen before. And Juliet, thank you so much for this is going to be awesome. Okay, so here we go. Last we left off, Uncle Walrus had made a very powerful request from the Lady of Graves, played by Juliet tonight, declaring yet another miracle be present. Do you remember how you said that, Walrus?
I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
Clasping my friend on the shoulder and looking him in the eyes as tears stream down his cheeks from the pain that he's enduring, trying not to murder us all outright. Or whatever horrible thing he's got planned for us. I look up and I say, my lady, you've been so kind to us and so good to us. And now, as you are the cycle, our cycle is coming to an end. And I ask if there's one more boon that you can give us. It's that you free our friend from this torment and you rip out the darkness from in him.
Well, that's kind of what was said, but you kind of didn't make it there before you saw what I'm about to say. So Pharasma's all-seeing eye witnesses all mortal actions and achievements and failures. Knowing what Walrus was facing, the remedy to the tyrant's grasp on Thurman, Pharasma has been called upon and she has called back. Typically, she just grants you miracles, but she's called you back. All of a sudden, you find a momentary sensation of utterly alone in a vast black void. Your heart beats later, pinpricks of light come into existence, all at once, one by one, and then suddenly, seconds later, there appear to be thousands and millions. Scant moments later, the sensation of a torrent motes of light rush toward you until you're no longer surrounded by darkness, but stark, perfect white. As if the light itself had been pouring into your physical form itself. Each one of you experience this. And you arrive at, and I'm going to share another map, you arrive here. Here you are. And this is the crew. Notice Auroch has his white robe. And you see in front of you what you think, Walrus, would probably put you to your knees, specifically your Lady of Graves.
And I do. I dropped to my knees in deference.
Walrus, what did you do to us?
I didn't do anything. My lady did.
And you'll notice, describing what you see, rising from the base and stretching into the astral plane and into unimaginable height, Pharasma's spire holds a unique place among its fellows in the outer sphere. Also known as the Boneyard, the spire directly receives mortal souls arriving at their end of their long astral migration. Pharasma's palace harbors the Lady of Graves and her worshippers' souls. Soaring Gothic structure, a palace stands in contrast to Pharasma's often somber and dour nature. Constructed of white marble, glowing with inner light and bearing floors paved of onyx, representing the god's dualistic power over birth and death. And you see a scene in front of you. And Juliet, this is where you become Lady Pharasma. Lady Pharasma is being guided by what seems to be a pit fiend and a solar angel, and there's a gnome in front of him. And he says,
"But I have done good deeds my whole life. Lady of Graves, please forgive my sins."
The pit fiend growls,
"He has killed his neighbor. He is not worthy."
And the Solar says,
"He's not worthy of the upper planes. You take him."
Lady Pharasma, you say,
"He must go into the abyss."
You see the pit? It's terrifying. You guys see him being yanked by this pit fiend down under the palace, and then the pit fiend comes back, but without the grand gnome in front of Lady Pharasma. You're like, oh God, what just happened? And then,
wise decision, Mother of Souls.
Yes, very wise.
And then everybody roll a d20, please. 0 modifier. It's a flat check.
This is straight.
17.
14 for you, Jenny.
Higher might not be better.
I rolled an 8.
I don't have a choice on it.
Is lower
17.
better? Lower sounds good. An 8 sounds fantastic if you're going lower.
Yeah.
We don't know.
All right. Brett, can you calculate?
I didn't write that down. What did
I wish Juliet had dice. That'd be good. I should have sent you some dice. I had so much to prep. I'm so upset right now.
That's the one thing.
Okay, so who's first?
All right, so Spencer, off 2 4s are rolled. Should they re-roll to see who gets higher?
Yes, please do.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 9.
Okay,
Wow.
so you
I want to get that out of the way early.
Get the ones out of the way while you still can.
If I should re-roll, I can, but I don't think so.
All right, so the highest roll was Viv, then Eugenie, then Walrus, then Tom, then Orok.
Okay, you have a moment as a group to ask what's going on.
Walrus, what is going on with this place? Why did you bring us here?
I didn't. Dermot, you're not listening to me.
He was talking to Pharasma. We in the court of Pharasma. We're next. The gnome is in front of us. That's what's happening.
This is the boneyard. Listen, all of you, my family. This is it. This is your final judgment. All of our final judgment. The lady knows and sees all, and she's advised on left and right by the sides of our actions. Literally in those forms, and wherever we wind up, she'll get advice for better or worse from those two. Just answer her honestly, and I wish you the best of luck.
Is it better to drink or not to drink in my case?
Eugenie, you should probably drink as much as you can possibly consume in the next several minutes here.
Do some
You got
shots.
it. Don't have to ask me twice.
We don't belong here, Walrus, and you should not have brought us here.
I summoned you.
Also, Eugenie takes the lead from Uncle Walrus and takes a knee.
Yeah, I'm going to take a knee, and I'll say, guys, I think the goddess should speak first.
Well, I haven't had luck with gods.
Oh, Storm.
And Lady Pharasma, if you are a god,
Christ.
please help me understand.
I summoned you here, all of you. It is time.
Time makes no difference to me. I've had my god, Saren Ray, cast me off like some kind of thing that wasn't worthy. I've had other gods that I've gone to and bent the knee for cast me off like I was nothing. What makes you different? And this is not out of disrespect. This is out of pain that I've had in my heart, and pain that has torn me apart day by day since my family threw me out of my kingdom and abandoned me.
I understand.
Procedures of court. You see a young gentleman step out. Procedures of court. We are in a timely manner here, and you shall abide. The Queen, Lady of Graves, is in control here. Please abide.
Thank you.
And I look to everybody. Please, just
We
abide.
will abide.
Eugenie throws Thurman a look like the chill bro, chill look, you know what I mean? Just like the eyebrows, kind of like just keep cool, buddy. Keep cool.
Thurman takes his clothes off.
Are we all answering at the same time?
Thurman disrobes right now.
Well, that's not a question.
Anything different.
How can you disrobe? You have no hands.
Keep the clothes
Oh,
on.
good point. He's got no hands.
He's gotten very good at it.
That's right.
Oh, what an unruly bunch.
I remembered that
Five
you have
questions.
no hands, so you cannot
There's something wrong
disrobe
with
as
it.
easily.
We're not quite sure what it is.
Questions,
Claw,
please.
cut this fabric off me if I am to meet.
Then you see the pit fiend come over and he grabs Thurman by the throat. He just hauls him up and he goes, and he cuts his clothes up and he goes,
Is that what you wanted?
He set you down.
Thank you. It's important for me to meet my end or my beginning as I leave and or come into this earth.
You will.
Apparently,
With
every
nothing.
time I see you, every other time that you're the end and beginning for both me and Eugenie, Uncle Walrus, and Orok. So I don't see the difference of right now.
I
You
will
like
tell
me
you for the
naked. You
record, I
all
never
like me
expected.
naked.
I never expected my final moments to include this situation right here. I have
No,
to tell you,
and
it's not
honestly-
how I envisioned this at all.
Really? It
Once
took
you've seen it
now.
once, it doesn't get bigger or better. So I don't know the.
No, but it's literally a moment before death, Orok. I mean, I just feel like
Fine.
we've done.
I died
we
with
deserve
you
better.
guys?
But you know what? That's
The
not in the cards
fellowship
for
of
us.
something stupid for you.
It's not in the cards for us.
Yes.
I have a question,
Please,
my lady.
ask-
I have a question.
Ask questions of the lady.
Yes.
What of the tyrant? We freed the severed six, including my great-grandrelative. What of the tyrant? Where did he end up?
She's not here to answer your questions about the tyrant. She is here to answer questions about you.
You said we had 4 questions, yes?
Please ask questions to the lady.
You've helped us along this journey as you've been helping Uncle Walrus. Why now?
So you ask her why.
Why are we here?
It is time for the ultimate judgment on each of you individually.
Admittedly, we've all experienced a lot, but I honestly thought I'd be a lot older before this happened.
Listen,
Nope.
Before the oldest dragons were born, before the wisest of angels and devils answered mortal prayers, the universe had already had hundreds of dynasties, empires and wars, extinctions. You were just another chapter in the eternal struggle of good and evil. Please pretend like you're nothing else. The lady shall judge you. More questions, 2 more.
Are we supposed to fight someone?
No. You are supposed to present your case.
I don't understand that.
No, I'm not much of a talker either, so I don't get it either.
One more
This is very
question.
new for us.
One more question.
I have a question.
Yes, Clerica Pharasma. Ask your wisest question.
My lady, what can I do to make sure that my friends are judged as the heroes that they deserve to be judged as?
Their actions have spoken for themselves. All will be as it should.
Well, good luck, everybody. I don't know.
Four questions done.
I'm ready whenever they are.
For that.
I don't think there's going to be
I'd say it's 50-50, probably at best.
Listen, if we need to do something, we're happy to do it. If we need to die, all right. Well, see you guys later. Good having fun with you.
Eugenie takes one full swig of his ale and steps forward and says, "I'm willing to be judged."
You will wait your number in line. Who was first, Brett?
Oh, my mistake.
Jesus.
Viv, she rolled the highest. If you're going the highest first, then Viv.
Viv's first. So Viv steps in front of the court.
I walk up to...
What's your speed?
Yeah, sauntering speed of 25.
And you see a huge pit fiend. And he looks like he belongs there. Nobody's making trouble with him. And you see a solar angel next to Lady Pharasma. And as you walk up, you say what?
I'm not afraid of judgment. I understand my actions, and to be as true to myself, I never dedicated myself to a god or a goddess this entire time.
Yes, let me do the proper introduction. Vivian Malcure, of no particular house, no particular god. The orphaned and mannerless. The dreamer of mammoth riders and freedom. The wielder of vorpal axes. The rager of creation and destruction. The jealous of succubi. The stabilizer of Sister Nyx. Molester of statues. The drowner of fuzzy creatures. The practical and the unromantic. The holder of bags of spoiled ale. The arrogant, the unwise, the unreasonable, unjustified, disrespectful, and dull-witted. The dominator of wood, perennial, thrower of gnomes, and slinger of cups. May I present her to you, my lady?
I like him.
Yes, death comes for everyone. It's a natural part of life. We're all on loan. Here is the lady. Present your case. What have you done good in life? What are your good deeds?
As I walk up, I do bend my knee to her, and I say that as growing up, I fought for the orphans in my orphanage. That was my...
You also killed them.
Not by option. There was some mind f***ery. But I've never strode past my true self outside of what my truest intentions were. I never dedicated myself further than what I knew who I was, and I never reached farther than I needed to. And I joined this to be able to do the best that I could do with what I had and the support that I had. And so I'm not going to say that I am good. And I'm not going to say that I'm bad. But I'm going to say that I did the best that I could throughout this for the better of everything.
What would you say are your best qualities?
I'm a fighter. I'm never going to shy away to something that I think is for the best and the safety. I'm strong. I am very good at hitting very well with a lot of damage. And I am very protective of those who I know would have my back.
And what are your worst?
I'm a very good hitter. I don't know my own strength. I sometimes are too protective of the exact same thing. I don't know I don't look into people too deeply. I take people as they are. I don't ask too many questions. And I get a little offhand sometimes, and maybe I do a little bit more damage than I should, but that's just who I am.
Lady of Graves, this one war is sweeter to those who have not experienced it, but she has. She belongs with me.
Pharasma, if I can have a word.
Of course.
She claims to be an atheist, maybe, or not a believer in the gods. If that's the case, atheist souls usually either go to the astral planes or maybe go back to the material plane where she came from to start all over.
A second chance.
I am thinking that you shall go back to level 1 and redo your life and see if this time you learn some different things.
You will become mine next time.
Lead the righteous path, Viv.
I greatly appreciate it, but I do hope that when this does happen, that I can wait until the rest of my fellowship has been decided. But I would like to say thank you, Lady Pharasma, for the opportunity that you're presenting to me.
Yes, you can wait till all the rest as well.
Eugenie leans over to Uncle Walrus and says, I suppose it could have been worse.
You wait beside the spiral. You guys see that? That's
Until
awesome.
you get called drunk.
All right, who was next, Brett?
Eugenie.
Great job.
So Eugenie takes a deep breath and just steady his nerves a little bit, because it's not often that you come face to face with a god with a capital G. And he walks over. Normally, he could flash the angel wings, he could flash the halo that has accrued over the course of this adventure. But he decides to come to Pharasma as he was when he started this adventure, just as he was.
Proper introduction. Eugenie Ducanu of Udostavin House Ducanu, the good, the ex-champion of Iomide, the now champion of Lord Caden Kalian, the self-induced inebriated town hero, the grand revealer of evil, embracer of freedom, desecrator of livers, drinker of fine wines and spoiled alike, consumer of ales, abuser of liquor, father of demon eggs, sworn enemy of sobriety, the mender of sisters of Nyx, swinger of lethal weapons, seeker of peace, freer of slaves, wielder of Kalian's luck blade, and a comrade to an angel who I believe is going to appear.
What?
Yes.
Eugenie looks around. Is Buzzon coming? This would be amazing.
Come on, Buzzon.
Please meet one of Caden Kalian's lead angels. He is called, what is his name?
Buzzon.
Buzzon.
All right.
Great job.
It's good to see you, my friend.
Eugenie, the Caden Kalian champion. Yes, this is fantastic. Pharasma, please listen to his tale. He definitely is going to earn it. Proud of you, Jenny. Just give it your best, man. I'm rooting for you, bro. I'm going to be drinking this while you do your speech, all right?
Yesterday's drunkenness will not quench today's thirst. Please continue.
Jenny, tell Pharasma why you deserve to go to Elysium.
I think he passed out. I think he's on the
No,
ground.
he's fine. I'm fine.
Oh,
I'm
he's
fine.
up. He's up again. Thank you. Drunkards know no danger. Please present your case to the lady. My lady, what will you ask of him?
If you were making this judgment, what do you think should happen to you?
In all honesty, my lady, I do not know how to respond. In the beginning, I turned against my family's calling for me because I felt that it was not true to myself. I have always tried to bring happiness to people. I've always tried to find a common ground. Admittedly, more often than not, this does involve ale, but that is how I choose to view the world. The lens that I choose to view the world. Because when all is set aside, it is to your own self that you can be true. And I only hope that while I know that I've done my best intentions to do right. I understand that may or may not have been the same for everybody who judges me. So, to sum it up, to my lady, I honestly do not know how to answer.
What would you say is the worst thing you've ever done?
Well, I know what some people would say, but that is only because they're not followers of Kate and Killian. There have been times where I've been indecisive, perhaps even a little fearful. There were times when on our quest where I honestly felt out of my element and worried for myself because I felt like there was nothing that I could do. Fortunately, to my friend Bazan here, he has shown me a way to become a higher version of myself. And since then, I have done my best to not only take down evil, but also to protect my friends, which between the two options, is honestly 50-50. I mean, true, the evil must be vanquished, but if your friends are not there to see it through to you, then what is it worth? What is it cost?
He does not belong with me.
You're damn right he doesn't belong with you.
Is there anything else you want to tell me before I make the judgment?
At the risk of sounding self-serving, I have always heard Uncle Wallace say amazing things about you, and I know that he would not follow you if it was not for a reason. And while it may not have been my true calling, I cannot fault him for following his true calling. And you're a much nicer person than I would have expected.
Thank you for your compliments. And your friend sounds a lot like Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, who's Matthew McConaughey?
Don't give him that.
He does drive a Cadillac, though.
I'm so glad I put myself on mute before I reacted.
I'll take that as a compliment.
So let's see. Are you ready for your judgment?
As ready as I will ever be, my lady.
Would you say you're sober to receive this judgment?
No. If I were to say yes, it would honestly be a lie. So no.
On the scale of as drunk as you've ever been to the least, where would you say you are in the spectrum?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, you have been honest in this thus far, and I am now going to hand down your judgment. You shall go to Elysian, but there is a stipulation. You need to be sober from this day forward. Not one sip of beer, not one sip of ale, not one sip of wine. That is the judgment.
Buzz on, please take your escort. Await for a moment.
Walrus, see where ass kissing gets you? Nowhere.
Does Jenny have a moment to confer with Buzz on after the resolution?
I scream at from across the hall.
Jenny turns to Buzz on and he says, I honestly do not know what to make of this. I mean, I feel like it would almost be insulting to Kid and Killian for me to come to Elysium and to not drink. What do I do?
I know, man. I mean, the Caden Kaling way's freedom, right? You don't want to be restricted. You don't want to be shackled again, man. That's the whole point of following Caden Kaling. That's why you jump ship from Iamodi. You know, come on, man. It's up to you, man. But I'm telling you, that's a raw deal you're getting there, man. I mean, it fills me out to start all over and Galarian again. I mean, giving up drinking? You kidding me? F that, man.
We're sending the wrong message in this podcast right now. I just wanted to.
To be fair, this is still the recording session. A lot can happen in post. Okay.
The thoughts of these characters do not reflect the actual thoughts of the players.
No, listen, this is free speech, bro. Everybody's thinking it, just saying it out loud.
So Eugenie turns back to Pharasma and says, "My lady, if I may I ask you something?"
Yes.
I fear that, at the risk of sounding
ungrateful,
Thank you for thinking of the word I was thinking of. I fear that to make it to Elysian but not to be allowed to drink would be insulting to the god that I have followed that has allowed me to make it this far. And so, with your permission, I would understand if it is perhaps a lesser judgment, but if there is an option to be had to which I will not have to sacrifice my drinking.
What if you gave it a try, one day at a time?
I think she's got something.
30 days, buddy. Other orcs say when you start going out and socializing.
I'll drink to that.
Oh, great. Everybody's drinking to Eugenia going sober. Fantastic.
We'll give you a week's bender that you can do anything you want before you have to go. Does that help?
Ooh. I believe that might help me settle things with my god.
Off the corner, can I be like, can I join beforehand?
I wouldn't have it any other way, my
You
friend.
can go on the bender too. Yeah! A party before go.
Before I go down to
Eugenie bows and says, I will do my utmost, my lady, and I thank you.
Absolutely.
My lady, before we get into the next ones, your special guest stars are here. The ones that actually solved all the equations. However, let me introduce who's next, and then we can get to that.
Uncle Walrus.
Introduction. Simon Walrus of Taldor House Artisan. Wow. As in general artisan. Yes? The devout and selfless, the bearer of truth, the prophet of wisdom, the agile commander of the divine energy, the wearer of hair above lip, breather of many false names, crusader of Arnesance, caretaker of orphans, balancer of Sister Nyx, salvation of wounded, service of the good and dour alike, the seer of beauty and souls, the extinguisher of undead, and the proclaimer of Pharasma gospel, the chosen of Pharasma. Step forward, chosen. What do you have to say to the lady?
It's so many things, but probably no words that'll express it properly, milady. You've been talking to me since I was a lad, and I've envisioned this moment so many different ways. And yet, fate's brought me here in no way that I could have imagined. And I am blessed that you've been part of my life for so long. And I am doubly blessed that in your book you had planned for me to meet these people, these saviors, because all that I was here to help be part of their story and to keep them here for a little bit longer to do what they had to do. So I've always been ready to be judged by you, milady. I just hope you find me worthy. And I just hope you find my friends as worthy as I think they are.
If there was something else that you could do right now, what would it be that you would do if you were given any power to do it?
Well, if I could have any choice, anything to do, I'd set it so that Arnesant never made that decision to go back to create what is one of the World Glorian's greatest tragedies. It set so many terrible things in motion. Was that the right answer? That's great. I'm quite excited about that. I am several bourbons in, so I wasn't sure I was going to get that one right. So.
Oh, and I'm the drunken champion.
Hey, listen, but remember, the views of this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of proper alcoholic behavior.
Is there anything else that you would like to say before?
Please announce your sins to the lady.
My sins?
What have you done wrong?
I have not always made the best decisions in the interest of my friends. There were times when I could have interposed myself more between them and danger. And perhaps I didn't do that as much as I should have, as much as someone that reveres your side of the spiral that focuses on life. And if there was something more that I could have done to those abominations, those horrid things that were undead and demonic at the same time. But the one thing that I feel most sinful about now, and I'll look towards Thurman and say, is that I couldn't save him. Because I know what's in him now, milady.
He's not savable.
But he never had a choice.
Don't worry about him.
It's not his turn yet.
But he never had a choice, milady.
This is about you.
Well, then if you're asking me what I would do, milady, then I would sacrifice myself. So my friend gets a fair shake in the end here because he never had a choice.
Come with me. Come with me, Lady of Graves. What do you say?
I say.
He's never strayed from his path of worshipping Pharasma, you know that.
No, he hasn't. He has been faithful. You shall be by my side for all of eternity. But you can only use one name going forward.
I've only had one name, lady.
I've seen you say different names to quite a few different people along the way.
I don't know. What is she talking about? I've only had one name. It's always...
I don't know what she's saying, Dinklebottom.
I've always been Alex Weinberg. That's it. I mean...
Miss Pharasma, it's so entertaining. Please don't take that away. It's so good.
All right, we'll keep the name changing. It's fine. We need a good laugh now and then.
I'm very confused, but I mean, I'm honored beyond belief. How shall I serve you?
Today. We will get into that later, but I'm very excited that you shall be at my side.
Nice. Who's next?
It's Thurman.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Step forward this way. And he shows you to the front, right in front of her. Thurman, to be quite honest, you've never been in front of a god. It's the most inebriating sense of euphoria.
Lady Pharasma, your aura makes me feel really good.
Yes. Introductions are proper. First, Thurman Tydrin of the ancient dwarven clan Tydrin, the 5 mountain kingdoms, born of Saren Ray, the inheritor of arcane gifts, substance for vampires, slave to witches, the token of the tyrant, the breaker of death's rules, proponent of nudity, the rectifier of the sisters' Nyx, the single-handed friend of birds, planular expert and scholar, maker of wishes, destroyer of churches, curser of gods, and the remarkably short-tempered, frequently deafened, appalling dollfellow, unimaginative, timid, crass, lacking in initiative, no sense of humor, tedious company, and irresistibly drab and simply awful, and a loyalist to his friends on this adventure.
Pretty accurate. Thank you for that description.
Even the smallest person can change the course of future. Name that movie.
I don't know, Thurman Tydrin's greatest hits.
Lord of the Rings. So good. Yes, my lady, what will you say to him?
What would you like to say in pleading your case to me?
First of all, there is no God. But, you already know that.
Not a great start.
Well,
I liked it better when you said you liked my aura.
Look, you're sexy, God, so that's a good thing.
He says that all the time, so don't be too flouted by it.
Do the flame trick.
Let me show you this. Something I learned as a child back on the mountains.
I lean over to you, Jenny, and I'm like, does she still know that he's naked still?
Hopefully she does not know this.
Okay.
Pharasma, I've been tortured, and I've been discarded. And I am a soul that has been lost. So, you must forgive me for being a little rough around the edges.
He killed 300 people and desecrating Sarenrae's church on the fire plane.
You are the ugliest demon I think I've ever seen, and I killed that Baylor, and if I get a chance, Pharasma, I'll kick this guy's ass too.
This is not going well for you.
He belongs to me.
Pharasma, to Thurman's credits, he actually defeated a great evil in that church. And the effect of defeating that evil exploded that being to destroy the church. So it really wasn't his fault entirely. He did get rid of the evil. But again, the church did fall.
Thank you, Angel. Big explosions are my thing.
One of those things.
Pharasma, I left my family when I was a child to protect them from the magic inside me, so they were not cast out like I was. I trusted a group that turned into a group of vampires that sucked almost all of my soul and then cast me out as I escaped and was held as a slave, Pharasma, to witches for 27 years. My only family, my familiar, died and was sacrificed, and the only family that I have are the ones that are around me, the ones that you are judging. They are what love is. So with that, I'm still gonna kick this devil's ass right here, right beside me, and maybe I can join you in his place and kick other people's asses when they come up and talk to you. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that might be a cool thing that, you like.
He belongs to me.
To his credit, and no pun intended, he never did get a fair handshake.
It is true. The tyrant had intervened in his life at a young age and implanted his flesh around his heart. Perhaps without the attachment to the tyrant, he could lead a civil life.
I care for Pharasma, and I care about life, and I care about the things that make life worth living. And on my quest, the only thing that I have found that lends me that solace are this group, this family. Pharasma has already cast me out. I went to Walrus and pled my case to Pharasma and was not heard, just like Saren Ray cast me out.
Gods only let things grow until they're perfect. You have to understand this. It is the order of the universe. You cannot expect a god to show up as you command. They are not here for you.
I was busy. What did you expect?
Lady, if I may, as I am yours now.
What did you expect?
One thing I'll say on my friend's behalf. Yes. This little wizard had a beautiful bird, and because of the tyrant, his life was a turd. Not his Lola. Lola. Lola.
That's where the star. That's a star. I know we're in the afterlife, but that's a star. Walrus.
Oh my God! I've been waiting so many more episodes to do it again, and this is it. My last shot.
Lola.
No. But Darman, Lady Pharasma heard you all those times. You were always going to be here anyway, so she never abandoned you. She was just waiting. And my lady, like I said, he's got so much good in him, even though literally his body was a conduit for evil. I think that says something.
Does. And I was thinking one thing, but you said that you would switch your place with his, so I'd like to hear what you would think I should do in regards to him, what you think would be fair.
In your omnipotence, you're handing out second chances. I think if there was ever a person more worthy of that, it's my friend Darman. I think that we can all give him a hand, or maybe two in this case, for all the work he's done to set things right. So I think he gets a chance to put his hands to good work once more, and he goes back with some of our friends.
Would you have him start the cycle again?
Well, sure, he never got his own cycle, so maybe he should get a chance to have one.
Have him come back with me.
Do you mean that, Viv?
I do.
Would you have me with you?
I think it's the perfect opportunity and to see what goes from there, but I think you have a better chance and I have a better chance if we do something together.
I think this would work. I think that if there's a chance for you at all, it is in what you have discussed and in the love that you have felt, and that partnership may give you a good path, but I do hope that the next time I see you, that will be so.
I'll smile and say, give him hell, Darman.
And you should know that your friends basically changed this judgment because I had some other ideas when you were first speaking. You should know that.
Lady Pharasma.
Yes, time for the best but last.
Oh, shut up. Let me finish.
Oh, he still has things to say.
Of course I do.
Words are for mortal minds.
You should stop at yes.
Haven't you listened to the last 56 episodes? I've got a lot.
He always has more things to say. And
Words are for mortal
Never
minds.
quits when he's ahead.
He won't shut up.
hopefully, without this backstory, he'll be a little bit quieter.
on my knees now in front of Pharasma,
Yes, speak.
looking up to her.
You have an audience with the goddess.
Thank you, Pharasma, for believing in me and not giving up. And then he looks over to Viv. Viv, I've always loved you, and thank you for being my family. And someone has always looked out for me.
You see Viv look into Thurman's eyes and just do a very modest nod of appreciation and acknowledgement.
And Thurman rises and walks off.
Now put on some clothes, please.
Thank you, lady. We were all thinking the
Hopefully
same
going
thing.
back,
Thank
he's
you
going
so
to forget
much.
this entire thing.
Finally, someone says it. Finally.
Also, does anyone else notice that there is a tattoo on his ass?
I did see that.
I was trying not to look, but
Terrible tattoo.
It's
I mean, how can you not look, really? It's like a train
Back
wreck.
in the day when we were
It's a tramp
the
stamp.
front
really.
line.
And now we had the pleasure of Vivian's brother, Orok Malkur, a druid of Goraz, Goliath amongst mortals, the orphaned, the spiteful, the carer of unsightly creatures, master of shapeshifting in nature, endorser of insidious agreements, the tosser of gnomes, the chaotically confrontational, the resurrector of the sisters Nyx, the undiplomatic, slayer of father, the belligerent aggressive, slayer of Djinni, the prophet of nothing, the protector of siblings, and recently betrayer of Goraz and pleader of Aristil. Please step forth.
Eugenie leans over to Uncle Warris and says, and I thought Thurman was going to have a hard time.
Please show your might in front of the lady. How large can you grow?
How large can I grow? Well, why would I need to do that? What does that matter?
Let's show the lady some power.
I don't know why I'm here. Honestly, I really thought we were on the path to eliminating evil. And this is like a total curveball, to be honest. I really thought there was something more going to happen next.
Interesting you should say that. We have some people that will prove what you are saying is correct and incorrect. Lady, may I present two special guests this evening? The general.
So I don't get to speak. That's it. I'm done. Okay, all right.
We'll bring you back. Do not worry. The court is efficient. Please.
You get nothing.
Elven General. Mr. Rockhart, please step forward.
Oh, wow.
Fellowship is something stupid.
Oh my God, he's back.
Everyone is back. Cheers.
Lady of Graves, it was a ordeal dealing with all of those liches. This party did not kill their phylacteries and therefore did not clean up the golden threads, but we did.
Oh.
We did it.
We did it at your request, lady. Whew.
Who doesn't take care of the phylacteries after killing a lich? Come on.
I do not know. Doesn't everyone know when a lich dies, the phylactery still exists? Like the soul would come back, right, General?
They come back like a week later. Come on, guys.
Lady of Graves, you are so wise to send us to take care of this mission.
Yes.
Now, I'm sorry, was somebody saying something in this courtroom?
Yes,
No,
you should burn
nothing.
in hell, right guard.
Nothing. I only have two choices, to fight you or to be quiet, so I'm going to be quiet.
I won't be quiet, Orok. I hate this dick.
I put my hand onto Thurman and be like, not today.
The general slaps around, high five, Rogard. We did it, man. We saved the universe.
That's right. You know, that dwarf is a few hairs short of a beard.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever
I'm
noticed
gonna
that?
kick your ass right now.
No, not in my court.
Lady of Graves, the General and I shall go on. Where would you like us to go? We are of service to you and would be proper anywhere you decide to send us, even with the pit fiend. I'd be happy to live out my eternity in the abyss or
send them
hells.
there. That's a good idea.
I think that you shall relive the exact same thing you have gone through again.
Again and again? Or just one time?
4 times.
Yes. Okay. Is the General with me or is it just me?
The 2 of you together.
All right. General, win in
Let's do
again.
it.
Let's go.
Thank you, Pharasma.
Fantastic. We shall see you next time. Next time and next time. bring back the druid half-orc. Malkio, druid of Gorez. Please come amongst the...
I'm not a druid of Gorez. I'm a follower of Rastal. Listen, here's my story, same as Viv's. Our father was an orc that raped our mother, okay? Not happy times. We were orphans. Everybody hated us. So we made the best of it. We didn't kill out people just straight up, and we tried to be good. And then later, like along the journey, I decided that family, because this guy, the short guy, keeps talking about family, even though he's not related to us. And I think family is actually kind of cool. So I would like to protect those values, but I've never done anything besides just protect the people who are protecting me. It's been very basic, really. I don't really think about it very much.
Isn't there something you need to come clean about? A succubus?
Well, that was just a bad roll, really. She was, but you know what? The thing is, she was very beautiful.
I didn't think she was very beautiful.
She was
3 a.m. I've had a lot of
bad rolls. That's
a bad roll.
Life is a bad roll.
Yeah, but you know what? I enjoyed it thoroughly. I mean, she's gone now, but you know, I mean, it teaches you.
No,
listen,
but doesn't she feed on you quite often?
Not anymore. She's gone.
Yes, succubus are known for stealing strength.
Well, she was a very nice friend for a while, but then she got a little bit needy and she got a little bit weird, and then we had to let her go, and that it is what it is.
Pharasma, I have a question for Rock. Did you willingly make that pact with that succubus?
That's what. Yes.
No, it was because I just I didn't have the willpower. She overwhelmed me.
It was destiny.
She was too powerful. No, it's not fair. When somebody comes up to you on the street and is like level whatever and just casts a spell on you, you can't say, well, it's your fault for not, fighting harder.
She works for me.
Pharasma, this half-orc has always protected me. And even when I've done things that were, well, questionable, which I may have done 1 or 200
or 500,
he has looked out for me unconditionally. That has to say something.
Mortal, did Pharasma ask for your advice?
Banish him with me.
Oh, shut
Only
up.
speak to Pharasma if she speaks to you.
Sorry, my lady.
would you all say that he does take responsibility when he does something wrong?
He does.
Yes.
Lady, he's fought bravely. And
yes,
I'll tell you, for a man where rage is a very part of his being, a part of his kind, I've seen him refrain from striking out in anger more times than he's apt to hurt people.
I don't know if that's true, but I'll take his word for it.
I've seen it many times.
If I may, he has done the best with the hand that has been dealt, even when that sometimes means that the hand has been taken from him.
Are you talking about Darman or are you talking about Orok?
Sorry, I've had a couple.
Walrus, he's drunk. He doesn't know any better.
And what do you say, Viv?
Oh, he's my brother. I think, as both of us have gone through these very similar situations and very different at the same time, I do admire and acknowledge his direction for faith. So I think his interest and growing knowledge right now for faith and finding a God is extremely admirable of him, and shows that he's still growing and has still much more potential and what he's at and who he is now.
Let me offer you something. If you come with me, you will become a demon lord, if the Lady of Graves grants it.
No, my friend, this is the thing. My god is Erastil, and with all due respect, your lady, I pledge myself to go back to the woods from whence I was bred and keep those people safe. Both people and animals alike. And that's what I would like to do.
Pharasma,
You think
can I have a word?
Yes, of course.
Ask how long this man or half-orc has been a follower of Arastal.
How long has that been?
He came to me in a vision not long ago because I was faithless, really. I was green faith or whatever, Gozra or whatever it was. It was basically believing in the forest and the creatures. I believed in what I saw. I'm a simple person. I don't really understand all this. I don't know who you are or what you're doing or how this works. But all I know is that I fight for what I feel is right, and that what I feel inside is what I give to other people. And I do what's right for them when it's in the moment.
And can you feel the power in this circumstance?
Yeah, no, I feel it. I just don't understand it.
Pharasma, can I have a word?
Yes.
Did this change in faith happen after you murdered all the genie in the air elemental plane?
Sorry.
What? Oh, you're talking to me? Well, to be fair, they were coming at us looking really threatening. So I just cast one spell. Just one spell to just say, hey, back off.
They pop like balloons.
Yes.
So if you're saying murdering is defending yourself, then I'm guilty of that for sure.
Defending yourself?
Yes.
So these folk actually attacked you?
So when we were talking about taking responsibility a few minutes ago for actions, this might be one of those times that you might consider your responses.
Well, at the time, I really didn't feel that it was out of line. I felt really threatened, but that's just me. Maybe it's a bad, childhood. I mean, I just feel threatened all the time. But I have to say, I don't feel that anything I've ever done I regretted, because it was always about defending you and fighting for the good. And I feel that it's not done. That's the thing that bothers me the most. It's not done yet. I don't know why we're here. It's not right.
Lady of Graves, we have one witness to this life that may be outside of these perspectives. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Bring on Annalith, please. Annalith, will you please come to court?
Oh my guys, hey!
Yeah!
See ya!
Annalith,
it's good to see you.
Oh my gosh!
Did you guys all
I've
survive?
been so concerned.
Last time we left, did you guys get killed? I don't know what happened to you guys.
It has been a long story, but the bottom line is...
I don't think I've gone through as much emotional toll after we left you.
My lady, he rubbed me down when I was naked after I died.
He's a good man right here. This is a good man.
Please, we're here to delegate some witness to our proposed character on trial right now for arbitration for the Lady of Graves.
Okay.
You are not dead, Annalith. You will go to where you were.
Oh, thank God.
Whew. We have called upon you, and if you choose to remain, you can.
Oh.
However, it will be the Lady of Graves who gives discretion to that.
Of course.
We are here to bear witness to the white-robed fellow of Aristal.
Wait, he follows who? He doesn't seem
Yes,
more
I realize, yes. Please address the Lady of Graves.
I'm sorry. Pharasma, I'm Annalith, and yes, I have met the Fellowship here. They call themselves Fellowship of something stupid for some reason. But yeah, they're a bunch of good folk here. They kind of rescued me and basically... and
Specifically, what is it about this gentleman with the large teeth and the green skin?
Well, you know what? I don't know. He definitely does look different. He wasn't the same when I saw him. I don't know. How long ago was it? A month ago?
Infinity,
yeah. Let me ask you this, Auroch. When I floated off in space to die, what happened to you guys? Did you die too? Because I thought you guys had wishes to maybe bring me back. I was floating in space forever. Did you guys die too?
No, obviously we did not die, and neither did you, my friend.
You made it.
So what happened when I drifted off into space?
You were gone. You were gone. Like we had no idea you even still existed, my friend.
But you guys had so many wishes. You didn't think to wish me back?
I did not have any more wishes. I had not control over that, my friend.
Was it a big debate, or what happened? Who was against me coming back?
No, really, there wasn't a big debate. Honestly, it was just kind of you were gone and we just had to move on with the quest. We were trying to quell the evil and we thought you had made a sacrifice. We didn't think you were alive.
You know my situation. I keep coming back after I die. I was living a horrible death in space.
Lady of Graves, I did not do a proper introduction. Enlith of the Elves of Belmar was sent on a mission that required him to give himself to the universe. And after he did, he lives a life of rebirth, always faltering into death and then reborn. So I can't imagine, Enlith, what it must have been like to be in space and die, come back to life only moments later and then die, and then come back to life and then moments later and then die. What was that like? Was that terrifying?
How quick was that process? Was it moments? Was it like an hour? How'd that work?
It never allowed you to meet the Lady of Graves.
Mother of Souls, it is such a pleasure to meet you, and I honestly don't want to go back to my previous life. I've been living this nightmare forever, just dying and coming back without even seeing you or witnessing you. And for me, I just hope this curse ends and that you judge me and put me to where I need to be. If you need my judgment for Auroch or my opinion, I don't really have any. He definitely does look different now. He wasn't worshiping this deity when I met him. He didn't seem a very holy man, I'll tell you that much. Quite the opposite, actually. But hey, that's up to you to decide. Everyone has a change of heart at one point, but maybe you'll have a change of heart again next week. Who knows? This guy's kind of crazy.
Lady of Graves, may I ask a favor? I have been your servant for centuries since this universe was formed, and perhaps this gentleman could take my place. I've been looking forward to going to Elysium to enjoy some of the ale. I hear it's quite delicious.
Yes, I think that will work as long as you don't share any ale with Eugenie.
Yes, he is only going to watch me drink. Yes.
Yeah, well said.
Thank you, my
friend.
lady. Bye now. Bye. Good luck,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you for your service. You've been wonderful.
Wait, I want to get this straight. So now, Annalith is going to be serving next to my lady as well.
At the foot of the lady.
Yes,
actually,
Uncle Walrus.
Perfect justice at its best.
Besties for life, Uncle Walrus.
I don't understand.
Not in the same capacity that you are, Walrus.
I understand.
That is perfect.
But we can still talk every day, right?
Maybe, like once a week or so.
You are kind and
Maybe not every day.
you are kind and benevolent, my lady.
Sure.
And look, to the point that may be trying to be made here in defense or against Auroch.
Yes.
The failure with Annalith, and though there is a happy end to the story that he's in your good graces, and he's worthy of it because, yes, he has been through a living and unliving nightmare, and he's never had an end to his cycle either. But I will say that the failure with Annalith is on all of our shoulders, not just Auroch alone. It's not fair for him to bear the burden of that poor decision-making.
If I was going to hand down a judgment for you to go into the abyss and be dust, what would you say to me to make that not happen?
You will serve me well.
I'm, as an instrument of whatever, I'm way more powerful than dust. I am a beast. I am a caster. I am a foe to be reckoned with by any opponent. And I want to fight for good. Whether it's for you or whether it's for Erastil, I will fight for good and I will destroy evil. And my power is more than I ever really believed that I could have. As orphan or whatever we were in the woods. We escaped, we ran away, and this is more than I've ever dreamed. So I would be grateful for the chance to do better.
And how do you think that you work with others?
Not well, really. I don't have good social skills. I don't talk well. I tend to kill things first before I do anything else. So it's good that I have these other people around me to keep me away from myself.
Okay, so I'm thinking that I will give you one more chance, and you get to go back with your sister.
Oh, Christ.
And you guys get to be together. However, during the time that she is going on her bender with you, Jenny, you will need to go to anger management and some group therapy.
I run an anger management.
I think Thurman would be great. Anger management. He does run an anger
Thurman just
management.
manages his anger. That's not anger management.
I'm a therapist, and I
We're
can.
going to learn some tools to work better with others.
I would watch that movie.
Get to go on the bend.
Watch that movie.
Just pinch your leg, and you'll be fine.
No. Well,
It's either that or the abyss. You
no, I don't. I'm not the abyss. Every once in a while, though, we're gonna have to go out and kill something.
But brother, this wasn't this originally what you wanted, was to be able to come back to where you originally started and live there in the forest.
It's fine. I mean, I can get to the same place or a place that's better. I really just want to be back home and find a family.
Wow.
I'm really looking forward to that bender.
Oh, and drinking, yes, and that as well.
No, you don't get to go on that one.
Come
It's
on.
just me and you, Jenny. Sorry.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers. The judgments have been served. Love it. Nice job.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, what a wrap up. Oh my God, it was so intense.
Wow.
That was intense.
That was a poignant episode.
That was really cool.
I feel like revisiting my life and going, what did I, like good and bad.
Juliet is really intimidating, I just have to say.
Yeah, right?
I really was like, okay, just don't say anything wrong. Don't say anything wrong. Just keep it straight.
It's like talking to your mom. It's like, okay.
No, don't say that to her.
No, but you know what I mean? It's like she's a god. She's like, oh my God, yes, sir.
So powerful.
I got off easy. I was like, I'm in like Flynn, guys. I don't know what's sorry. I backed the right horse.
I know, you look like a cherub.
I didn't know where you were gonna go.
Thurman Thurman, so I just had to play Thurman like I played Thurman.
That's good. You guys all did awesome.
Wow.
I love the space in this episode. There was really a lot of breathing room. I felt the gravity of every statement. It was really, and Juliet, how amazing, man. Thank you so freaking much.
Thank you, Juliet. Thank you very much.
That was awesome.
Everybody pleaded their case so well. I was gonna make people undead and go to the abyss. I actually got touched. I was like, okay, I'll give you another chance.
Greatly appreciated.
I'm sure you had a little Spencer Stander whispering in your ear. And be like, this guy's probably gonna die.
Have a separate feed, yeah.
Right, this one's probably gonna be a zombie. Just
I
saying.
know, but
I
you
mean,
all
shoot
said things
yourself,
so
but-
heartfelt and talked about like the community and how you've bonded together through all of this. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, they're so sweet.
59 episodes later, you
Yeah.
get to know a guy.
That's really nice. And we really appreciate you kind of plugging into us like that. It's really cool.
Absolutely.
That was really fun.
That was an awesome
much.
episode.
Thank you
That was
so
a
much.
great one to go
The
out
thing
on.
that you guys do see before you go back is the pit fiend that's next to Juliet. He has a specific name. So does the Solar. They're there for infinity, along with the Protean, by the way, who represents neutral.
Where's the Protean?
He just hasn't been
There's
there.
a Protean there too.
But he
Oh,
judges
wow.
from a neutral point of view. And you see the pit fiend, he rises up the succubus that was attached to you, Kurt, and he just snaps his fingers and extinguishes it. And you see her scream, like squelch at a screech.
Oh no!
And you lose.
She
you
was
lose.
cool.
You lose one strength point.
What a dick! I get a strength point?
Yeah, because she
You
lost one.
lost a
Right?
strength point from that. Which was that the same succubus as that earlier episode that we're all thinking of, or was
Yeah.
that a different
Oh,
succubus?
the same
Okay.
succubus.
I missed that one.
We've all
Yeah.
had one succubus, dude.
No, that was
job.
what I was thinking. Was like, did I miss something, or has it
No,
always
it's
been
Apollo
there?
Asteria.
Orok,
Okay.
Mel, and Thurman go back to Galorian, right?
Yeah.
To start
Well,
over.
Viv and I
And
are.
Orok and you, Jenny, comes over. Where I go on that week drinking binge
Viv
with
and I are
Jenny.
gonna stumble into whatever
Then
the
he goes
Glorians
crazy.
version of
But I
Vegas
take
is,
Thurman and
Nelson
back
is.
with me, and then Orok also joins.
I love it. And Walrus, you're hanging out with the Lady of Graves.
Yeah.
It's like your dream.
If I can give you a quick epilogue, everybody has to sign the lady's book before they go off to where they go. And
Are we doing the Animal House, like after the credits roll, everybody has their own little fight?
yeah, just a little thing. But then when Walrus signs, he finally signs Simon Arneson.
Oh,
nice.
Awesome.
Good roundabout.
Love it.
I always wondered whether that was like Uncle Walrus like genuinely forgetting what his name was, or like misremembering, or
No,
remember
brain
he got
damage.
just
I rolled-
severe
I had brain damage,
feel
man.
That was the
like
thing.
even
I
if
couldn't
he did
remember.
write it, I still think it's a joke.
You guys made fun of me, but I had serious mental capacity issues, and that's
physical.
Quite insensitive.
Yeah,
everybody
so
laughed.
funny though. Very entertaining.
Yeah. You guys, great season.
But at least you were a funny mentally handicapped person.
Great first season. Great. I mean, wow, I can't wait to see what happens next.
And the most
8 months later
guest that wrapped it up. Juliet, thank you so much.
Juliet, what an anchor. What an anchor.
Extra special on the outro. And wait, I think all of us can give one more hand to the guy that created this whole thing, its whole brainchild. 1 to 59.
You guys rock it, man.
Red Paris, everybody. Yeah, let's go.
Rules,
Yay.
Yeah. And Juliet, normally we'd be at in front of a small audience at McLeod Ale. Maybe if coronavirus ever goes away, we'll be doing this. So hopefully you can join us in the future.
Which is super fun.
Yeah.
Really fun.
It's a great spot. We've got a great little hidey hole within it as well. So
I love the all-powerful goddess for Juliet. Like that's just.
Yeah. Are you in LA or are you in London?
LA.
LA. All right.
You can play our goddess anytime you want to play our goddess.
Oh, there you go. Quick perspective. Like 1 minute. Like, what did you think of the season? Where did you think it was going to go? How were you surprised?
Oh man, it's always funny with the first endeavor in things where you have your first encounters with the ups and downs and just trying to figure out how to make things work. But that's also part of the joy of creation. And so this was genuinely a unique experience that I would not have turned down the opportunity for the world. So I'm glad that I got to do this with you guys.
Awesome, Will.
I mean, listen, I do this as recreational, so this is just fun for me. But
sounds like tennis.
No, but to me, the character immersion is really all what it's about. If you can't commit, then why bother? Because otherwise, you could just play any game, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, that's what was really fun for me with this is that everybody was willing to commit completely to their character in scene, and it's fun. It's really fun, and you play with that, and you just goof around, and that was the best part of the whole thing.
Juliet, did you see Kurt's his teeth? He's got
They're fantastic.
She's yes.
Cool.
I think he's had those since day one, and it's just it's been such a great lean in.
But the thing is, the resonance and the fiddle that comes up with it.
But you don't lisp so badly. It's actually you talking them really well.
For sure.
Brilliant.
Because on Buffy, it was always a joke in terms of not lisping. You're trying to be really frightening and daunting, and you don't want to be
It's almost it undermines the character, but it kind of defines the character at the same time. It's okay, you're not going to make fun of this dude's lisp because he's 6 foot whatever and a beast
for now, and can turn into 20 feet tall.
Right, but he's also kind of not very smart and kind of bumbling at the same time, which is cool. Yeah, I love that.
I love it. Minute over, Tom.
I mean, Thurman has kind of become part of me, and I've become part of Thurman.
Oh no! Don't take on Thurman.
No,
you've been chopped off your hands, have you?
Miserable.
No, I haven't done that. But I mean, I think when you
Tom's wearing no pants.
When you invest in a character. I am wearing pants. I can't take them.
Hold on, I'm going to take off my pants in honor of Tom.
It's solidarity.
Poor Tom. Let him have his minute. We never give him his minute.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Never give him his minute.
At least it's true through the whole podcast. But, look, when you commit to a character, it's really good to commit fully and become that person or that whatever. Yeah. And I've done my best to do that. And I've played him as true as I can.
Yeah, you did.
And the greatest thing about this is the camaraderie. I mean, it's the friendship. And I love you all very dearly.
Aww.
And it's kind of, that's what I got back when I was doing theater back, Juliet's Path.
All right, minutes up, Mel.
I thought Thurman was going to become the Whispering Tyrant.
Ooh.
I called it 3 or 4 episodes ago. I'm they cut off his hand. They keep on saying that he's the one. He's going to be the one that we're going to have to kill at the end. So I was just gearing up to make the emotional distinguishing of killing him.
We were going to have to kill you, Tom. We prepared for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I want to hear Jonathan. What was your big surprise?
Oh, big surprise. I mean, there have been so many. I mean, the big surprise was this final episode, the payoff. I mean, look, selfishly, this was amazing for me and my character to have Juliet here and to have an actual conversation with
your god.
With Pharasma. which made it
Talk
really
back.
awesome. I kind of started with that and built backwards.
Yeah, you were true 100%. Like,
Yeah.
you're going back to episode 1, you were Lady Pharasma, Lady Graves, the Boneyard, the whole way.
Yeah, it's an awesome character, and seeing Juliet bring it to life here at the very end, like that's, I mean, it's such a huge payoff.
You really nailed it.
Sushi.
It was an awesome
Good time, Sushi. And look, honestly, Spencer, you're a fantastic GM. There were lots of twists and turns. I mean, you told a great story, and I mean, for the listeners, I mean, one of the things that's great about Spencer is that he, in normal times, he builds all this terrain by hand. You couldn't do that. Yeah. So we switched to this, this digital format, and you built a beautiful story.
Yeah, Juliet, you would love the artwork. Oh my God, I built castles and keeps.
Hopefully by the time season 2 comes around, we'll have all died down to the point where we can go back to McLeod's and you can see the set pieces that he builds for us for these episodes, and they're truly amazing.
It really is different level.
On a spiritual level, depending what you believe in, things happen for a reason, and the timing of this couldn't have been any better.
Right.
It's helped keep us connected and sane during one of the craziest times.
I really needed this.
Yep. Right, and having the escape from a reality that's far scarier than any demons and stuff that we were fighting it was a beautiful thing with amazing people who embrace characters like Kurt and Tom said.
Love it.
And it was a fantastic journey.
Right on.
It was a fantastic journey.
Juliet, we can't leave it without you. What did you think tonight? This wasn't your first experience in role playing, was it?
No, I've actually been doing the LA by night stuff, but very different than this. So this was loads of fun, and the thing that has been so amazing about listening to you guys and then getting to come and play with you is everything that you're talking about. The chemistry that you have is really palpable when you listen to the podcast, and so it was fun to get to step in here with you guys as well. And see it visually as well as when you listen to it. It's really awesome.
I can't thank you enough. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we love you.
Let's go for Juliet, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Juliet.
Thank you.
All right, guys, are we doing live, Mel? Not really, but
Doing it live.
Wow. Well, this is an afterthought by GM McLeod's or Spencer. And I want to thank you for joining us on this journey, the realms of time. It's a pleasure to have an audience to be able to listen and interact with. We appreciate every like we have on Facebook, every follow we have on Facebook, Instagram, and also on the podcast, subscribing and downloading at iTunes or Spotify and giving us a rating. It's so great. And if you haven't done that yet, please do that. Please go to Apple iTunes and give us a rating. Let us know how we're doing. And I can't wait for season 2, but before we figure out what that looks like, I'd really like to thank all the players. This year, Kurt for his strategy and brute strength in this campaign has just been great. Walrus, or Jonathan, Jonathan's Walrus character just being so dedicated, and what a great character. Will, you brought Eugenie to life, and the role playing was just out of control sometimes. It was just made me laugh so much. You and Buzz On were just so great. And then there's Mel, Mel with Viv. Just, you really became Viv. You became just this complete badass. And it was really fun to see your journey. You were always strong, but in the end, you were the strongest. It was quite amazing. And of course, Brett, I don't even know what to say. I couldn't even, you just brought so many characters to life. Thank you. And thank you for your rules contributions. It's really difficult to learn a new core book on the side, invent a campaign, do all the editing, and do all the, maps and just everything it takes. So just super appreciated. Thank you so much. And thanks to all of our guest stars, starting with Ryan, David, Val, Paula Estera, and Juliet Landau. I mean, what a lineup. Wow. And again, thanks to our sponsors, Leaving Richmond, for your great music. Gosh, he's promised to score next season. It's amazing. We're listening to some of that right now. Thank you, Jay, over at Emerald Knights and Emerald Knights, for your support. Thank you to Alistair and Jennifer over at McLeod Ale. I hope we'll get back. I hope this COVID thing gets handled. And thank you to Paizo for providing all the PDFs that it requires to play this game. We're very generous with that, and all of your ongoing support. I called quite a few times with questions. Thanks, Jim Butler, Eric Mona, all you guys. And from that, this is the end of season 1. You'll probably hear some follow-up discussions, and then we'll figure out what season 2 looks like for Loaded Dice Rollers.